All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining the webinar. My name is Chad Fullerton, and my partner in crime,
Justin Popovich from toolsformotivation.com.
And today we're talking about sales funnels because, it was a highly requested topic. Let's just start there. A lot of people want to talk about it. And as we've done in the past trainings, we're going to keep it as open-ended as we can. We want your input. We want to make this interactive. Ask your questions in the chat if you were live on the webinar. So let's talk about our agenda. We got lots to talk about today. We're going to do a sales funnel blueprint, essentially just going over a sales funnel, all the elements that go into a sales funnel. We'll talk about some sales funnel examples, and maybe Justin can pull up one of his more recent ones because he's done a lot of these. We're going to talk about a lead gen funnel, the difference between the two, and we're going to talk some strategies when we get into there. And we're going to also talk about a lot of tools because there's lots of tools out there you can use for sales funnels, for email marketing, for lead capture, and obviously for the checkout and payment section. And we'll go a little bit into those. Depending on what your questions are, I'll do maybe a deep dive if we have time at the end. But the focus is on funnels today.
The other thing I wanted to mention here is, Chad kind of touched on it, but we have this sort of 6-part agenda here, but a lot of it is going to be just kind of free flow. I documented and brainstormed a bunch of stuff, and I find for this kind of stuff, if we make it too regimented and try to stick too much to an agenda, it actually prevents us from discussing things that may pop up or discussions we want to have kind of just off the top of our head. At the end of the day, we're just going to do our best here. This is, joking aside, at the start I was joking about a pitch. This is just pure training. We just want to share as much as we possibly can. I personally, along with my business partner, Ted, we've been doing various versions of sales funnels for the better part of 9 years now. I've seen many, many different styles, things that have worked really well, things that haven't worked so well. And Chad has also been involved with many, his own sales funnels that I've helped promote and other people. And then, of course, he's helped his clients build them. And so it's just sort of like a melding of minds to really just try to share some of our best advice and give you lots of actionable steps that you can take into your business, because there are pretty much a limitless number of ways you could implement sales funnels. So hopefully you just get that. We're just genuinely trying to help as best as we can in a condensed sort of 1-hour session here. If we need to go further on another one, great. If it ends before an hour, which I highly doubt because there's a lot we can go into, great as well. There's really as much as of an agenda, there isn't as much of one either. These are just the 6 things we're going to try to hit today, if that makes sense. So what is a funnel? We kind of just made this definition up right before we broadcasted, because you can define it a million different ways, but we just said it's basically an online version of your sales process. Take somebody who's interested in your stuff, a prospect, and turn them into a customer. And then ultimately, over the long haul, turn them into a repeat buyer. Whereas in mine and both Chad's experiences, the real growth of your company comes when you can get people to buy stuff from you over and over again. Making that first sale is probably the hardest. Making the repeat sales becomes a lot easier and more profitable over time. And with sales funnels done correctly, you can not only do this and basically take somebody from kind of like a tire kicker to somebody who really likes your stuff and wants to spend some money on it, and really speed up that process as well if you take action. Now, I should say that there's a lot that goes into building sales funnels. So there's a lot that we're going to cover at a high sort of, inch deep, mile wide type of stuff. But then we will go into some of the tools and implementations of it as well. Yeah. So that's basically what a funnel is we're turning a sales process into something we can execute online and recreate what you would be doing if you were selling products in the real world. What was your example before we logged on, Chad? It was like the suit experience. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Like if you're buying a suit and you see a salesperson, they're telling you all about the features of the suit and why you need this suit, and you're browsing through the suits and you buy it, and then you come back to buy, a shirt, a tie, all that sort of stuff. Just imagine an in-person process of how you'd buy things in the real world, how salespeople work, how they do their upsells and that sort of thing. And this is essentially, we're trying to build as automated as we can, a digital system to be our Our online salesperson that's going to be selling for us 24/7, even when we're sleeping. They are selling for us and following very similar the sales techniques and tactics that they use in the real world, just in a digital way.
Exactly. And then one other thing I want to say about this is I've probably personally been involved, and for the most part, I have a huge hand in building these funnels. If I had to guess, I would say over 300 different funnels that were actually sales driven, like with the goal being to collect a payment upfront, because we're going to talk about different types of funnels. And so a lot of them were just find something that works and repeat it over and over again. But there is a number of them where we kind of switched the style up and we tried different things. So that's not an exaggeration. That's literally how many we've built, just because of the nature of the business we're in. We're in the content creation business, content licensing. We have thousands of customers who request literally hundreds of topics. So we're trying to meet the needs of many, many people. So we have lots of products that come out. And in order to maximize the amount of revenue we make on each one of those products, we create sales funnels. I haven't really found, I almost said it like a lot of the gurus. They say sales funnels, but it's sales funnels.
And because you've made so many, you've been able to document the process over the years, right?
Exactly. So flip over to the next slide so we can kind of make this become a bit more real. So don't get overwhelmed. I want to walk through what a sales funnel is, but at a more implementable level. And Chad, feel free, because we haven't really planned who's going to say what and when. So jump in where you want. But let's talk about this slide at a high level, and then we're going to go into some very specific stuff as we go. But at a high level, a sales funnel requires a few technical pieces when it comes to an online business. So the top left, you can see I put the word web pages or WordPress in some cases, or web page, WP could stand for either. In order to build a sales funnel, you need web pages. WordPress is the best way of doing it because you can create a page in 4 seconds and it can say anything that you want, and you can make it say what you want through a very simple visual editor. It may not be the nicest looking page in the world, but there's no excuses. It can have your sales message on there in a very short period of time. Now, a sales funnel is a process, right? You want to take people and offer them different things. So like Chad talked about with the suit example, it may start with a suit, but you might want to offer additional things to go with that suit. An extra shirt if you get a stain on it, shoes, belt, and so on. That's sort of a physical sales environment where you're in a shop and you're purchasing something in real time. But even there, that salesperson may give you their business card. They may put you on a mailing list where they send you a postcard or send you an email. And over time, you may go back into that store. No, it's no different online. Okay. It's just taking all of those types of interactions and making it available on web pages. So in a typical sales funnel, you're going to see a front end sales offer. It could be, hey, here's a product I've created. Would you like to buy it? If so, click this button. And then if somebody decides to take you on that offer, you can then begin to offer upgrades or upsells. It's up to you how you implement this strategy, or if you implement it at all. I highly recommend that you do offer upsells because that's where a bulk of your revenue will come from, especially if you're doing lower priced front end offers. Now, if you're doing high ticket, right? If your front end offer is, $1,000, $2,000, then you may not need as much of an upgrade upsell flow, although it still doesn't hurt to have it there. But if you're doing lower ticket, then upsells become key to revenue generation. We can get into some of the questions and apprehensions some people have about upsells. What I'll tell you is that if you run a business and it's your full-time business and revenue generation is the lifeblood of that business, and that's how you pay yourself a salary, you'll quickly get over yourself worrying about selling too much. If you create upsells or upgrades that are valuable to your customers, that are not required, they don't trick people into, buy my front end, but now you've got to buy this upgrade to make the first product work. That's crap. You don't do that. But what you do is you create upgrades that enhance the experience and make it optional. And in a lot of my upgrades, I'll tell the person flat out, look, you don't need this, but there's a lot of work we put into this and it may make your life a whole lot easier. So take 5 minutes and look at this upgrade offer, because based on the fact that you're interested in part 1, you may like this. That's the way you do your upgrades. You make it be very transparent, make it high value, and just leave it up to the customer whether or not they want to buy it. Okay. So That's a sales funnel. Is you'll need one or more pages to create offers. You link the offers together using your buy buttons. Now that will come from a shopping cart. This is where we're going to get into technical stuff. So for now, what should we say here, Chad? Let's maybe even not talk about tools. Let's just say,
we'll just talk structure.
Yeah, we'll just talk. Look, you're going to put a buy button on your sales page, and then you'll have, if you have upsells, you'll put buy buttons on those as well. Later on, we'll talk about how you link those together. Mm-hmm. And there's a few other pages that will show up in your funnel depending on the type of marketing you're doing. And by the way, I see questions coming in. I'm not looking at them because I just don't want to break my pattern. And we'll get back to them. So you have on the top right there, an affiliate / JV. JV stands for joint venture. It just means people that you partner with. Okay. If you're doing a more coordinated launch, or if you do want to have affiliates also promote your offer and pay them a commission in exchange for the traffic that they send, or for the sales that they send, not for the traffic, although you can pay for traffic as well. Then having a web page on your website hidden from the public, but only available to your affiliates, that explains this front end upsell 1, upsell 2 structure is very, very key. Because for me, as somebody who does promote other companies from time to time, I want to know what my customer is going to experience, not just on that main offer, but like, what are you doing in this whole process? I want to make sure that your business is on the up and up, and that you're delivering value first and foremost. So by you providing me as an affiliate promotional partner, full transparent access into what your funnel looks like, I'm far more likely to promote you. Because now I can give a confident promotion to my list saying, look, these people are great. Their products are high quality, and they have a good sales funnel in place that you'll enjoy, right? So an affiliate page or a JV page is key for communicating with your affiliates what exactly you're doing in this funnel. Thank you page is where people go after they make a transaction. So even if you don't have upsells, if you just have single product, it's $10, you buy it now, the customer has to be redirected back to your website at some point to collect that download. How that happens, there's a number of different ways it can happen depending on the technology that you choose. But that's where we get into tools. So try not to worry about that right now. Just remember the flow. Somebody makes a purchase. Maybe they go through Stripe. Maybe they go through PayPal, whatever it may be. They come back to your website to a different page called your thank you page, where you deliver the goods. The thank you page can actually be a very valuable piece of real estate for selling, okay, for making sales, for creating repeat buyers, for adding value. There's a lot of stuff you can do on the thank you page. It's something that we used to use a ton in our business. We haven't used it recently because of kind of some technology glitches, and we've just recently re-implemented it again. So I'm going to talk about that if there's time. And then just put a little star beside that last one there called downsell pages. So let's go quickly through the process again. Somebody may go to your front end, the first box on the left, top left there, and they like what you offer, so they add it to cart. They buy it, right? Then you offer them an upsell, maybe a second upsell. They may or may not take those. Let's say the scenario where they don't take upgrade number 1. When they say no, thank you, you can redirect them to the thank you page where they can download their content. Or you can redirect them to a downsell page that says, okay, no problem. The upsell didn't interest you. We also have this light version, or we have this other, cheaper option. It still may be of benefit to you, but it'll save you some dollars. Would you like this one? And then at that point, they can say yes or no, and then continue on. What you want to do here is in my opinion, again, we could probably have a whole discussion on this, is err on the side of being a bit more conservative with upsells and downsells. So for my rule of thumb, and other marketers will disagree with this, everybody has to kind of go by their own gut. My rule of thumb is to basically try not to have any more than 2 additional windows pop up after the initial transaction. So upsell 1, upsell 2, or upsell 1, downsell 1, and that's it. Because I've seen some internet marketing products where it's like, do you want this thing? No, thank you. Do you want this thing? No, thank you. And it goes for like 17 pages. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it completely ruins.
Those are frustrating.
What's that, Chad?
Those are so frustrating because you just want to get to your product at that point, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and I know better. So I just shut the window and I check my email for the confirmation link for my purchase and go and grab it. But it immediately leaves, like, I don't know, if you have 15 different upsells, yeah, you may make more money, but how many people out of 100 will probably never do business with you again? My gut is a lot, right? So it's like classic stuff here. Just treat people how you want to be treated. And I don't know, just approach it with, be reasonable about it. And a lot of the time those upsells don't even make sense. Your upsells have to be related to that front end offer, right? The front end offer was solving a problem of some sort. So upsell 1 and 2 should help them solve that problem faster, more efficiently, in a different way, with a different approach, whatever, but it needs to be related. So if you have 17 upsells, there's no possible way that they're all related. It's just you trying to make more money. Oh, you like my stuff? Buy this too, and buy that, and buy this. It's like you're standing in line at Walmart, and you're like, I need some gum, and I need these Mentos, and whatever. Right? So now that's the web page side of things. That's not where sales funnels end, okay? That's just what you would need on your site from a web page perspective to create a funnel. It could be very simple. It could be just a front end offer and a thank you page. That's still a funnel. It could be more like you're seeing on my screen here with upsells and downsells and affiliate pages. That's more complex. You would probably evolve into that. I would tell you right now, if you've never built a sales funnel before, focus on just getting your front end offer up and a thank you page up, and try to get your first sale, right? That's really exciting. And then you'll be motivated to enhance that funnel after the fact. Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't end there, because you will require other technology. If you remember our definition, a sales funnel is just taking a sales process. It's taking somebody that's not a customer, so they're a prospect, you're turning them into a customer. And then the key was the end of that definition, ultimately a repeat customer. So a repeat customer usually comes from follow-up. That's where your email / autoresponder system, things like Aweber, GetResponse, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, and so on, which Chad will get into some of those, comes in handy, but also your help desk. Your help desk is a virtual conversation with every single person that comes through your store and has a question or has a problem. And the help desk is also a very valuable piece of web real estate for making sales. Very few people, if ever, anybody ever talks about this. But if I had to guess and just kind of put a ballpark figure on it, I would say like 10% of our company revenues come from selling that happens at our help desk, because it's a live conversation with somebody who's already bought something from us. They have questions. We answer their questions as honestly and thoroughly as possible. And in many cases, their questions lead us to say, hey, you know what, based on what you're saying here, you could really use, this 4-for-1 deal over here. No pressure or anything, but like, take a look at it, because it's going to save you a whole ton of money if you're buying stuff from us all the time. So we kind of use it as an opportunity to get deals for customers just based on their behaviors, what we've learned about them, the problems they've told us about. And in some cases, we may even recommend them to an affiliate. We might say, hey, Chad's got this great course. And I think I've actually sent you customers this way, Chad. People come to our help desk saying, hey, I bought like a 10-pack of your PLR and I need to turn this into a membership site. What do I do? Well, I'm like, well, here's my affiliate link. I don't even hide it. I tell them, like, here's my affiliate link to Chad Fullerton's course. You may want to check it out. And if you do, I get a nice little commission for it. So let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. And it works. People go through and buy it. But again, we're making a recommendation based on a need. It's not just randomly spraying our affiliate links everywhere, just fishing, hoping people buy through it. It's an honest recommendation to solve a problem that they've told us about, if that makes sense. And then the last box here for connecting your sales funnels together is there's just a kind of a random mishmash of things that will help your sales funnel come together. So there'll be elements of social promotion. When your sales funnels end, so usually a sales funnel, you want to tie some kind of scarcity into it, an expiring offer, a bonus going away. I don't know. Can you think of any other off the top of your head, Chad? I don't know. More will come to me over time, but when they expire, you can send them to an expired page, and that is also a piece of web real estate that you can use to turn people into customers and or repeat customers. Right? So it's also part of your sales funnel. Freebie content for your front end offer. that's kind of self-explanatory. But if you have something and somebody's never bought, nobody's ever spent a dime on you before, maybe they've been on your list for a couple of months, they've downloaded some free stuff, now you've got an offer, and they're still not quite there, you give them something free just to test it, that may tip them over the edge to become a buyer, right? So it's a little tool you can add into your funnel. Countdown timers, we'll talk about that when we get into tools as well. Do you have anything to add here, Chad? This was our first pass through to make people understand what a sales funnel is from a high level, and we can get into more stuff here as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I don't think we mentioned is that for those upgrades, those upsells, or those downsell pages, or the things that you can want to sell on your thank you page, they can be affiliate offers that aren't yours at all as well, which maybe you want to talk about.
Yeah, that's a great point. So. And this actually is a good example for people who are newer and they want to, like, let's say you're kind of, maybe it's your first offer, second offer, and you want to recruit affiliates, but very experienced affiliate marketers, if they're going to send an affiliate email, maybe they designate 1 or 2 or 3 mailing slots a month to promote something. They're banking on a certain amount of revenue for their company in that affiliate mailer. And if you only have, let's say it's like a $47 offer with no upsells, so they stand to make $23.50 per transaction, and you have nothing else going on in the back end, as an affiliate, it's not really ideal, because you know that the amount of revenue you're going to generate per click and then ultimately per transaction is far lower than somebody who has, let's say, a 2-part funnel. And then something I didn't even mention is once people buy, then there's also a whole series of emails that you can send based on that front end purchase that offer other things that are relevant as well. So they become in of themselves additional upsells. Let's say you don't have enough content to build upsells. You could totally partner with somebody to create an offer that still runs through your shopping cart. Then you just split the leftover revenue 50-50, but your affiliates still make money. In your upsells, in your downsells, on your thank you pages, it doesn't just have to be your own products that you're selling. It can be affiliate offers. It can be stuff that you partner on. Chad and I do this all the time. You can get very, very creative. And that's what I'm hoping you'll walk away with today. It's not just a matter of you setting up your own offer. There could be some very interesting things you do that right now you may be thinking are roadblocks because you're like, oh boy, I don't have an upsell. I have nothing in my back end. Well, that may not necessarily be a reason to not put this funnel out. You might just need to get a bit creative here, and you can get your funnel out, before the end of March or by March 15th instead of pushing it to April 15th. Does that make sense?
It does. And there's also coupons, which I don't think we mentioned, but some of the technology allows you to also give people custom coupons once they've made a purchase so that they will make more purchases in your store if you have more products.
Exactly. So there's a lot of strategy here that I have not gotten into yet. I think let's go through a freebie funnel structure as well before I go into like anything too deep here, Chad.
Sure.
That first slide the previous slide was showing you a fairly complex diagram of what a sales funnel looks like. It can be simplified if you just think of it as a front end offer and a thank you /download page. A lead generation funnel is where the main offer is not a paid offer. Okay, so that's the key difference. Lead gen is, like the name suggests, it's ideally to build your list, whereas the previous slide was more about revenue generation. Although if you're let's say buying ads and you have affiliates sending you traffic, then a sales funnel like the previous slide can also build your list because you're putting new prospects immediately on your buyer's list, which is awesome. But this slide is more a case of maybe you don't have much of a reputation yet, or you want to ease people into the process. So you're going to start by offering a free offer. And again, very simple WordPress /web page where you explain what it is you're giving them for free. Obviously, there's all kinds we could do a whole webinar on, persuasive sales copy, video landing pages. There's all kinds of stuff you can do to increase the conversions, split testing and so on, to get more people, a higher percentage of people to take that opt-in offer. But let's not worry about that right now. The main part is to understand the funnel. So the first page would be a free offer saying, I've got this cool thing. Do you want it? If so, put your name and email in. Okay, so they do that. Then they go to a bridge page. Now this bridge page is key. If you don't use a bridge page, if you just so for example, if you're using Aweber, which is an autoresponder for your email, Aweber offers you the ability to send them to a default page. And it's literally this giant white screen. Well, maybe it's changed, but when I used to use it, the giant white screen that said, thanks, please check your inbox. Okay, totally wasted opportunity to brand yourself and do additional marketing. So what you want to do instead is create a bridge page that says the same thing. It says, hey, thanks for signing up. Your freebie is on its way to your inbox. Before you head over there, though, check out the special offer below. This is where you do some kind of paid, ideally lower priced offer to the people who took that front end lead generation offer. So you want to make it very closely related. Maybe like if it was a PLR product, maybe I give them 3 or 4 articles from the overall package as the front end offer. And then the bridge page says, hey, those articles come from this $147 package over here. We're for one time only, or on this page only, we're discounting it down to $47. Grab it today if you want. And it gives you the whole thing. So they may or may not take it. Now, if you're doing cold traffic like Facebook advertising or Google ads or whatever, very tiny percentage of people are actually going to spend money yet. They haven't even downloaded your freebie offer. They don't trust you yet. But it's still good to have that bridge page there and kind of set the tone that you do have cool deals for them as a subscriber on your mailing list. Where the cool part happens is on the download page. So they go to their inbox. They're like, hey, Justin sent me this free stuff. I better click this link to confirm, right? So they do that. And then it takes them to the download page where you, in my opinion, right away, give them their download link. Don't make it hard to find. It doesn't have to be at the very top of the page, but don't hide it. Make it obvious where their freebie is, but also do some selling. And what I like to do is I literally take a clone of that bridge page and I say, thanks for registering. Your download is here. And a reminder, we have that special offer I mentioned to you after you signed up. It's still available. So if you have any questions, let me know. This is a great place to put a video if you're comfortable doing video. Even if you're not, just do a video because it converts. And if you want to do well with sales funnels and online, I would suggest you get in the habit of doing it sooner than later. But yeah, literally repeat that offer there. And then this funnel is a great little way of getting people to know you. If you have, I mentioned video, you could have video on all 3 of those pages of that funnel. The more video, the better. At least picture, if you're doing the personal branding thing, right? If you're selling like I do and like Chad does as our first names, and a lot of the marketing comes from us personally, which most of us on the call here today, I think would probably doing it that way, then the more videos of you explaining your stuff, the better. If not, at least some photos of you to make it more personal. And definitely very clear explanation. But at the same time, don't overdo it, right? Because this is a lead generation funnel. So don't get too wordy. Just make it clear, make it personalized, and make it as high value as you possibly can. Like make this experience of a lead gen funnel worth money. So if somebody were to opt in, skip your offer, download the free thing, they should think to themselves, that was totally worth money. I would easily spend money on these folks in the future. That's the experience you want to leave them with. And that's where these boxes over on the right come in handy. Bonus freebies. People sign up for your list. It doesn't take all that much effort to create additional free things over and above what you've already promised them to get things started off on the right foot. Over deliver on your free stuff, right? You give them stuff they didn't even expect. And give yourself an excuse to reach out to them again, right? So these bonus freebies, 1, 2, 3, whatever number, could all come in the form of follow-up emails on day 1, 2, and 3, the subsequent days after they join your list. And it's just you reaching out saying, hey, I sent you that first thing. How did you like it? Hit reply. Let me know. And I mean, we've got thousands and thousands of people that we do business with. I still ask for personal replies. And for the most part, I have time to get back to everybody. I do have help at our help desk, and sometimes I need help from our staff to get back to everyone. For the most part, you can do this unless you're doing like thousands of transactions a day where it literally has to become a team effort. Try to take these, get people to reply. But then you can also send them out these freebies saying, you know what? I wanted to send you something extra as well, just to kind of thank you for joining my list and taking the time, investing your time in looking into our stuff. I value that, even though, you would say this, but even though you haven't spent money yet, I value your time, which is true. And that's these bonus freebies, guys. This is an awesome example of where to use PLR. If you need additional content to drip out to your new subscribers over the course of the next few days, now that they've signed up for your list, but you're kind of scratching your head, go, what do I send them? Send them some repurposed PLR that delivers an extension of what you've already been teaching them in your front end free offer. And that's where the bottom boxes come in handy. So you're going to use your email marketing system, Aweber, MailChimp, GetResponse, ActiveCampaign, Drip, whatever, to engage those people and send those additional items to them. You can send them directly in the body of your email, or you can do what we often do, say, I've got another freebie for you, click here to get it, and then you send them back to your website to another page, again, becomes part of your funnel. So it would be a fourth blue box there beside the download page. We call it bonus freebie page 1. And on that page, you could do more selling. So for example, Chad, can we switch over to my screen for a sec here?
Sure. We can see it now. Yep.
Okay. So for those of you on our list, you've probably seen these before. So you could do the exact same thing in a lead generation funnel as this. Hey, I've got some additional free content for you. Click here to check it out. This is the page they land on from my email broadcast. And it's timely. You could put some time expiries on yours if you need to. And we've got this freebie for you here. And if they just stop here, great. No big deal. We've delivered extra value to them. They close the window. They're happy. Wow, these guys are great. They send out content all the time. I haven't spent a dime yet. Very cool stuff. But at the same time, I take the opportunity to do some selling. So I let them know the freebie that you're downloading today actually comes from a much more in-depth program that you can read about below. It's kind of a soft sell, but it's also at the same time, it's a little bit in their face. It's right here below the freebie. It's above the fold. So they're clicking this link, and while they're waiting for it to download, they start reading that headline, and then they can go in and actually check out this offer. Now, what's cool about this is this offer here is a sales funnel. So this is normally a much more expensive product. We've actually broken this product down into a couple of segments. But watch this. If I click the add to cart at $17, it's going to take a second because my webinar is hogging up all my bandwidth. Takes them to an upgrade page. Now, little side note here. My upgrades, the way we do them at Tools for Motivation, is we do upsells pre-checkout. I'm sure people on the call today have experienced purchasing something, going to their PayPal or credit card, completing the transaction, coming back to the website of the vendor, and then getting the upsell. That's probably the more traditional way of doing it. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way. I prefer this way because they're kind of already, this is more convenient to the customer, and they get a chance to decide right away, is this something they want? There's no right or wrong way of doing it. I've noticed an increase of about 10% over the last 3 years of putting the upgrade pre-checkout. So right away, redirect them to an upgrade. And in this case, it's just extra content related to that front end offer. So maybe they want that, boom, so they take it. And remember what I mentioned before, no more than 3 pages in a funnel. So I take them one more time to one additional upsell. And at the top of every one of these pages, they can just skip the upgrade and check out. Okay, so don't forget about that with your funnels. And then this is a $47 upsell. So let's add that. And then you can see what happens here. It goes to the cart, and it is what is it here? $91 potential transaction here. So we did this. We're doing this currently right now. Let me go back here. We're doing this week. And we sent out a mailer. We've had, 600-700 people download this freebie here. Well, a very tiny percentage of people have actually done exactly what I showed you just now. Some of them took the $17 offer, some took the 17 plus the 7, and I think maybe 4 of them took all 3. So if you just deliver freebies, great. But if you actually learn how to build sales funnels and they're valuable and they're related to the freebie offer and it's non-intrusive, this is completely up to the customer whether or not they want to take action on this. But it's valuable because they were already interested in this topic. So why not at least say, look, we've got this. If you like it, great. If not, no worries. Well, we just generated like another $1,000 in revenue, whatever the number was, simply by we're basically nesting 2 funnels here. If I had a Venn diagram, you'd see them kind of overlapping. We're literally nesting those 2 funnels together. But this ties back to what I was talking about, those bonus freebies, follow-up freebies, when maybe you're repurposing PLR. when you learn how to build sales funnels like the previous slide, they become things that you can reuse in your business. They're revenue generating assets that you can reuse over and over again in future promotions and campaigns. So once you may build a sales funnel once and then run a sale and then close it, and you think, oh, well, that's it, I made X number of dollars. No, because you can reuse them, you can nest them, you can loop them together. Highly. I mean, if you're kind of just going to ease yourself into sales funnels, then this slide here, this lead gen one, may be the way to go. And we've got, let me pop it into the chat here. We have a tutorial. We have a tutorial on our training blog that walks through this whole freebie funnel using PLR and a little bit more in depth. There's a video as well. So I'll make sure we get that, or maybe I could do it now. Well, no, I'll do it after because there's so much more we could talk about here. You know what? Let's just do a live example. So maybe just quick show of hands / I think there's emojis. Isn't there a little emoji button in the chat you can click? Yeah. So give a clap if you either purchased or saw the promotions for the Purpose project launch that we did last week. Just curious how many people actually saw that. Okay, lots of people are clapping. Oh, I wish I could hear this clapping. It'd be like a standing ovation right now. Great. So that was for us, it was an extremely successful launch. Did really well. We had a lot of affiliates promote it. They made money. So that was really good. We had all kinds of good feedback at our help desk. So for me, it's like one of these win-win-win scenarios. It's great. So that timer is a little plugin that we run on WordPress, and it basically auto redirects the page to a closed page, which I talked about on that one slide. That closed page we use to build our list, and we use to build our Facebook page. I'm actually going to be updating it soon to do additional branding and have a video on there and so on. Yeah.
So this is what they normally see.
Exactly. So this closed page, actually, when I checked in our autoresponder system, was responsible for like over 1,000 leads in our mailing list, because people missed the deal and they're like, shoot, I don't want to miss another one. So they get on our list. So that's just a kind of a little side note. But if you do run a short-term campaign, your closed page should never just say, sorry, you missed it. It's branding. We've got at least a picture there. I'm going to be enhancing this with a video in the near future. This was very similar to what I kind of preached earlier, a 3-part funnel. We don't do downsells at all. So I guess we kind of do, but we wrap them into one. So Chad, can you go to your next tab?
Okay, yeah.
The upgrade page, and then control click so it opens in a new tab. What happens when you click the add to cart button there?
Oh, this one, yeah.
So it's a little slow there on our end.
There's your 4 for 1.
Yeah, it's catching up here now. It's just loading on my end here. So imagine everybody watching. Okay, so if anybody, I've noticed people in the chat saying they may have missed that deal. Let me know. Hit me up on my email. I can maybe hook you up. So these are the 3, relating this right back to those slides. These are the 3 pages of our sales funnel, WordPress styles. Now there's way more in the funnel because I talked about email marketing and stuff like that. So so Chad, just quickly hit them again. So front end, I'm just gonna get you to scroll, but basically we've got an offer. We have a video that demonstrates the offer. That formula I use, just as another side note here, for the video is I literally just have a couple of slides in a template, and then I just change the template based on the offer. I drag and drop in the artwork and the title of the product that I'm talking about. I hit record on my ScreenFlow app, and then I record myself speaking into a mic and then literally opening up the product and demonstrating it. Now, in my line of business, people are purchasing content, and they're purchasing a license of that content to use as material to publish in their own business. So the best possible thing I can do to reduce any worry, to kind of maybe pre-answer any objections they may have before they even buy, is to literally show them what it looks like. Now, what do you do in your business? What do you sell? Is it a course? Is it coaching? Is it mastermind groups? Is it live events? you need to use a similar approach. Your sales video should kind of pre-demonstrate the customer experience, so that there's no guesswork. They want to know exactly what they're getting, right? You can surprise them with other stuff as well. But I like to use these videos to literally show exactly what they're getting. So Chad's showing some screenshots there, or literally a play of, I literally open up the product and walk them through it. So that's just working well for us. And it's very easy to do. It ends up usually being around a 10-minute video, and the whole thing takes me 15 minutes, let's say. I record it in one take pretty much every time, because I don't worry too much. I'm just honestly sharing. It doesn't need to sound perfect. And then I export it to an MP4. I upload it to YouTube, and I sometimes create a quick splash page so that it says something nice on that page. Yeah, 15 minutes and I'm done my sales video. Don't overthink this kind of stuff. That was just kind of an offshoot there, a little side note. So if they like it, great. Now, one little thing we did to increase conversions and to have additional reasons to mail this offer out during our 5-day launch was, I think Chad scrolled to it earlier, was we had a multi-part bonus. So this is just kind of, somebody's asking what a splash page is. I just happened to catch that with my eye quickly. A splash page is, it's basically just a landing page or a low content web page that gets people to take action, usually a free action like joining a list. So we added some bonuses. So we had a 5-day launch, and we said, okay, we have 3 bonuses coming out with this launch: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Buy this offer now, and you don't have to wait to find out what they are. You get them all right away, or play along and watch for our mailers as we reveal them one day per week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And that's just kind of fun. People like it. They may be busy, right? Everybody's running a business and doing stuff with their families and who knows what else. So they quickly glance at that email and they think to themselves, I'll come back to that later. And it just gives them a reason to open my email later on, right? So that was kind of fun, and it definitely increased conversions. But at the same time, it increased value, because people are buying, in my opinion, something that was already worth way more than the asking price. It was $29 for all this content that real world costs probably run us about $2,500 US to produce, right? So $29, not a bad trade. But then we're also throwing a whole bunch of other stuff that didn't cost us anything. Now it's stuff that we've already built. It was in our catalog, so it's work we've already done. But it just gives them a much better experience and just leaves them feeling like, hey, you know what? It was already a good deal, but these guys are really looking out for me. And that's the kind of environment you want to create with your buyers. So, so definitely try that. Now, one thing I'll mention is that third bonus was a choose your own adventure. That whole approach, I've done a training on that in the past. If anybody's interested in my bonus method, let me know, because I've got a really good video about it. The downside of it, I don't see a lot of other PLR vendors doing this, or any vendors really, is it's very time consuming, and it's going to cost you some money on your help desk, because you have to have either yourself or somebody literally going through all the tickets. And then they have to go through, in our case, people were picking from a list of like 150 products. And then they have to go and dig up the download link, and it was ×2 for each customer and deliver it. But the way I look at it is it's an investment. It's not a cost to have a help desk rep talking to customers. It's an investment in the customer relationship, and it's making sure that customer is happy, but also gives us a chance to ask them questions, let them maybe vent any frustrations they had with our technology. Like we've had people say, I couldn't reset my password or whatever. I need to know about that stuff, right? I need to know if people are having frustrations. So, and I see lots of people asking about the bonus video. I'll definitely get that even by the end of this presentation. I can get the link. So, okay. So people add that to their cart. Now, Chad, let's look at the upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this upgrade, very similar to, I think a previous example I showed. Yeah, it was the example on my freebie page. This was the offer here. Was just a media extension of what was on the main offer. So again, your upsells should be something similar, more of the same, or extend what you're already doing and save some more cost. Not required, right? People can get plenty of value out of that initial $29 transaction and not need this at all. That's the experience I want to leave them with. However, if they want more, then I'm going to offer it to them. And I think if my memory serves me correctly, we had about 39% of the people take this upgrade offer. Okay. Now, Now here's how we how we implement a downsell and upsell at the same time. If they click the buy button, it goes to that third tab. So let's hit it, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
And if they hit the no thank you button, it also takes them to this second upsell. So we are incorporating the concept of an upsell and downsell in a sales funnel into a single choice point or decision point in this process with our customers. But once again, this is the third and final page that we're sending people to. We're not going to expose them to any more selling because we want them to be able to get their product and not overdo it. Now, again, that's a gut call. Some people may have less.
Yeah, so you're using WooCommerce, so this button has different code on it to actually add the product to the cart, and this one doesn't add the product but takes them to the same page.
Exactly. Now, if you put that second upsell, now this upsell was a 4-for-1 type of deal, so I won't get into the specifics of it. Basically, it's a customized deal, and this is a higher price one. It's $97, which is significantly higher considering the front end offer was $27 and the upsell was $47. But the value is much, much higher, and the cost to my company is much higher. So again, you as a business owner, you need to consider stuff like this. This one is people can choose any 4 items from our store for a single price, which is lower than an individual item, and download all 4 of those for a single transaction. Our staff has to manually fulfill these orders. Now, there are ways with technology to automate that. We haven't not had time to implement and test it thoroughly. So for us right now, we still do this deal because I still look at it as, yes, it's manual delivery of a higher ticket, at least in our world, higher ticket offer. So it does cost us something, but it gives yet another chance to talk to customers. The more people that fill in help desk tickets, as far as I'm concerned, the better. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a second, because part of our sales funnel is the macros that we use in our help desk to follow up with people. Yeah, Oshan saying that the 39% is great. Yeah, we've had actually on some offers that the DFY blog, when I did with Chad, we actually had over 50% on the upsell. So it was just like crazy numbers sometimes, depending on how you do it. Yes, Hildy's saying that it's a chance to connect. Absolutely. So that is the funnel from a web page perspective. Now, let me share again here, Chad. Just going to zoom out here. So we use an autoresponder called ActiveCampaign. And I'm not sure many people on the call have heard of it. Again, Aweber, GetResponse, MailChimp. Are there any other big names I'm missing, Chad?
For like the workflow like you have, it's probably ActiveCampaign and Drip would be the 2 biggest.
Yeah, and then Infusionsoft, which is a way bigger implementation, would do something like this as well. But what you're seeing on the screen right now is a workflow. Now, when people purchase something from us, or when they just sign up for our freebie list, either or, we can put them into a workflow that looks like so. And this integrates very nicely with our shopping cart system. So ActiveCampaign is an email autoresponder. It lets us send automated email broadcasts to our mailing list. But it is separate from WooCommerce, which is our shopping cart system, which in itself has a database and keeps track of all of the orders that come through our company. They're linked together using a plugin in WordPress. So every time somebody purchases something in WooCommerce, they get added to or appended in our autoresponder system here, and we tag them with all of the different products they've purchased. So you can see here, if I zoom back in, this is an automation. And an automation is a workflow that somebody goes through when they take action on something in our business. So in this case, if a customer gets tagged with a tag called Purpose Project PLR Special, then a series of steps now happens in our business. This to me is the heart of a sales funnel, or not really the heart, I guess it's the extension. It's the money maker of your sales funnel, because we talk about repeat customers. This is how you engage with your customers after the fact. Okay. So somebody buys something, you follow up them a few times after they buy it. This, you can do behavior-based marketing now. So these are emails and things that you would send to people based on the fact that they bought this. Nobody else on your list will receive these emails. That's why I like ActiveCampaign, because you can tailor your email marketing to the behaviors of your customers. Very, very powerful stuff. You can't do that, at least not easily, with Aweber. I think there's some other tools. But anyways, we'll get into the tools possibly later today or maybe on a second call. So what we say is, okay, we've got some conditions here. So we have a monthly membership base. If people are already members, and they happen to buy this or they used to be a member, then we want them out of the automation because we offer a membership. I don't want to resell a membership to a member. So I exclude them from any further marketing. And then we send an email. Now this goes out right away. I could add a condition here to wait for a certain period of time. It could be 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 hours, whatever. We send this email. Now this email is a thank you note that we always send. And our thank you note in this case said, thanks for buying. Here's how to claim your bonuses. In other scenarios, we do surprise bonuses. So we will do unannounced bonuses just to kind of keep our customers guessing, right? They'll buy something from us. Maybe it was a $27 transaction or $47, whatever. They go and they get the thank you email and it gives them some kind of housekeeping stuff. Then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we'd love to give you this as a bonus. Hit reply or go to our help desk and let us know which bonus you want, A, B, or C, or let us know which product you want from this group of choices. We often do that in that first welcome email. Then we start some additional automation. So again, think of the process of that guy selling a suit, somebody selling a car, you're selling consulting services to big corps, and you need to send, follow-up material. Maybe you need to send videos of you in action. Those are all sales funnels, just executed in different ways. So what we do as PLR sellers is we just send follow-up emails based on the fact that they bought this special. So next condition we have here is we say, all right, this person bought from us yesterday. Did they buy the upgrade offer? So it says, does the contact have the tag Purpose Project PLR upgrade? That's literally a little setting we put on the second or that first upsell. So if it says no, that means the person did not buy upsell number 1. So we send an email to them saying, hey, thanks for buying our product. Did you get your 3 bonuses? So we're checking in on them. We're doing some value delivery here first. And then at the bottom of the email, we say just a quick reminder that the upgrade is still available. It lets you get audio and video versions of this product. It may come in super handy for your membership sites, blah, blah, blah. And we resend them back to that upsell page just as a follow-up or a reminder. If you look up the stats on selling, very often prospects or even existing customers need to see your offers 4, 5, 6, 7 times before they buy. I'm kind of like that. I'm so all over the map that I'll forget somebody's offering something, and then on their 8th follow-up, I finally go, okay, what was this again? I finally look at it, right? Some people need that amount of persistent follow-up. So this lets you do that. We just do it once, but you can do it more if you want. And then we send them back to the normal workflow here, which is if somebody did take the upgrade, then we send them another follow-up email. I forget what this one was. Oh, this one was a custom coupon. So we say, hey, thanks for buying the Purpose Project. We have a hidden coupon for you as a customer of this deal for a product that would actually couple very nicely with helping people find their life purpose. And it's, it does this and this and this. It has these features. Here is a coupon code just for you. But then what we do is we add a little mystery and fun to it. We say, head over to the sales page, add it to your cart, and put this coupon in to see how much the price drops. People like that. Not everybody buys it, but they at least go over and load it into their cart just to check. So we send them that, and then we do a membership offer here. These membership offers, we vary. I like to do a lot of interaction. So I'll actually tell people, hey, we've got a membership, and then for buyers of this, we've got a special offer on our membership. If you'd like to know more about it, click here to fill in a ticket, and we'll get back to you. And we actually have one-on-one conversations with people. Now, that may not work for you if you're just selling really cheap downloads. It may. But if you're doing coaching, or you have like an upcoming retreat or something that really requires that you explain it, and you want to offer them like a 2-for-1, bring your sister to the retreat and it's free, whatever, you can get them engaged in a conversation that way. So that's where we send them over our help desk and do some initial selling or additional selling. I see a question. Do you feel a personal development niche in general is trending up, and do you highly recommend Zendesk for a help desk community? Yes, and yes, absolutely. I think the personal development niche has been big for years. It's a big, I don't know if you call it an industry, the self-help market, whatever, but it is definitely, if you look up the stats, it's definitely a multi-billion-dollar industry. There's different motivational speakers and companies and seminar businesses that have been out for years, and they all continue to do well and grow. I think now it's more about the creativity in how you market yourself and finding a niche market, because you just do general motivation, I'm going to get you excited for your goals. I just don't know if that works anymore. I think you want to get a little bit more defined. You motivate a certain group of people, right? That's the kind of the key to me. Zendesk is a help desk tool, and it's amazing. We use it. We pay a very low yearly fee. And the best feature about it is it automatically emails our customers when we send a reply, so they can just quickly reply to that email and we get the ticket update. But we also use a feature called macros, which we can basically template different replies. So if somebody says, hey, I want to know what your membership special offer was, I can pre-write the little message, and it just pops down in Zendesk, and it fills it in. It says, hey, John, the membership thing is this. And we may tailor it, but at least fills in 80% of the message that we want to send. So it allows our interaction with our customers allows us to handle a higher volume of tickets, still be personable, but deliver good value and just do it quickly. Okay. What else was I going to say there? I think that was it, because I wanted to get you into some of the tools there, Chad, as well.
Sure. Yeah. Just talking about help desks. There's a few out there. Zendesk is one of the most popular. There's also Help Scout is one I've used before. It's really nice and clean, super simple. They all pretty much do the same thing. Freshdesk is another one. This one integrates with a lot more other tools that they have, and chat. If you have like the little chat in your corner of your website.
Yeah, actually, do you still have my page open? Because we have that there.
Zendesk has that. Yeah.
Jacinta, you don't need you don't need Zendesk with ActiveCampaign. Two different tools. Zendesk is the help desk system to answer questions and tickets, and ActiveCampaign is email marketing. You can integrate them to a degree, but they're not related. That right there is a little plugin you can add. It's just a little piece of code you can add to your website that lets people submit a ticket, and it's on a page. So when I'm in my help desk, I can see exactly what page they were on when they entered the question, the ticket. Mm-hmm. It's good for selling too, because if somebody's in the middle, like they're about to buy a membership and they're like, well, I don't really get this. They fill in the ticket. If I happen to be around, I can answer them almost immediately, because they're maybe ready to buy and they don't want to wait a day for an answer to a question they just need right now to finish their transaction.
Exactly. And they also feel like if they can see that there's a chat and there's actually someone they can talk to, they feel more comfortable buying, because they know that you're going to support their purchase.
Yeah, exactly. And Hilda, yeah, that is Zendesk. It's a little piece of code Zendesk gives us. We can put on our website, lets us pop up a little window to submit tickets directly.
Yeah, so pretty much all of them these days have that feature. I'm not sure if Help Scout does, but Freshdesk definitely does. So definitely check them out and see which one. There's even services that are just for that chat box. But if you can use less tools, the better, right?
Yeah, exactly. So maybe I know you had a couple slides that go through all of them. We're kind of at the top of the hour here. I didn't want these webinars to go too long. Maybe you can just spend like I'll
just put them up. I'll put this PDF in the webinar chat as well, so you guys can always refer to this after and go through these. If there's any that you want to touch on, we are at the top of the hour, so we'll try and make it quick. But here are some tools you can use for lead capture. So by lead capture, we're talking about the sales page part. So in this funnel, your front end offers. So in any of these other subsequent web pages. So these are the tools that you can use to help build those pages. So OptimizePress and InstaBuilder, if you're using WordPress, these are plugins that allow you to easily build sales pages that don't interact or conflict with your theme. So for those who have a WordPress website, you'll know that you have a WordPress theme that changes the look of your website, right? So if you have a sales page, normally sales pages don't have a lot of the clutter that are in your theme, which would be your menu at the top, certain navigation buttons, maybe widgets on the side that you have, your footer content. You might want to change that or simplify your sales pages to be as clean as possible, so there's less distraction, especially if you're sending someone to a freebie offer from a Facebook ad or Google ads. You don't want them clicking around and checking out other sections. You want them to, the purpose of a landing page is to do one action, which is to get their email address And so that's what we want them to do. So these two plugins allow you to essentially add another layer to your WordPress site where you're able to build what's like WordPress pages, but they don't have your theme on them. So you can make them look any way you want, use any colors, different logo placements, hide your menu navigation and things like that. It starts at around $100 to purchase these plugins. And then you can pay a yearly fee for the updates. And these are a lot of, like, especially InstaBuilder, they are drag and drop builders. So it makes it very easy to build a page. You don't need to know coding and programming and things like that. And a lot of them have pre-built templates that you can purchase or that come with the plugin that you can just pop in. For example, if you want to make a video sales page where you have that nice video box at the top and some buy buttons and some bullet points and things like that, they have templates that are already pre-done. Then you have your cloud services. So by cloud services, I mean that these don't require you to have a WordPress installation or your own hosting. And so you pay on a monthly basis for these services, and then they give you a landing page URL to send people to go to. So some of them allow you to put your own domain name or your own .com as the domain, but for the most part, they have their own hosting, their own separate system. So Lead Pages is the most popular, around $40 a month, $25 if you're paying annually. You can get a system that essentially has a whole bunch of templates. There's hundreds of templates that are pre-built for you. You just pick the one that you think looks the best. You drag and drop your images in there, change your buy buttons, and you're good to go. And a lot of the advantages of these services is that they integrate with your email system. They integrate with your payment system. They have a lot of integrations already built in. So keep that in mind, because with these ones, you might have to do a little bit of customization to get that working depending on what you're using. Landingi.com is one that I've used. It's more affordable than Lead Pages and does pretty much the same thing. Unbounce is another very similar one. It's more expensive, but they all do the same thing. They just build simple landing pages where you can put videos, bullet points, landing page copy, graphics, and things like that. Then you get into the more complex ones. ClickFunnels is a well-known one because all the quote-unquote marketing gurus use ClickFunnels. It is the most expensive system out of all of them. It is easy to build funnels with because it allows you to easily make that workflow like we showed here. So you can just quickly drag and drop. It's built for building funnels, so you can easily see the different workflow that your users are going to be going through. But you can—
Is it a shopping cart though? Or is it? I can't remember.
ClickFunnels,
yeah,
they do have. Yeah, there's a lot more features in ClickFunnels. It's a lot more robust, so that's why you're paying more, right? And yeah, they do have checkouts and a lot more features. So just go ahead and check in, depending on what you need. If you're just starting out, you'd probably want to start out with one of the more simple landing page builders like Lead Pages. If you already have WordPress, maybe check out these plugins. Some of your email systems also include landing pages as a feature. For example, GetResponse is an email service, and that we'll get into in the next slide. But this one actually includes landing pages in their higher up plans, and they have a landing page builder very similar to Lead Pages that is drag and drop, and so if you are using GetResponse or even MailChimp, I think started to do landing pages too. You can check if they already have landing pages, because maybe it's something that you're already paying for and has a landing page option. I'll just quickly jump right into email services. So email services would be separate from your landing page service and separate from your website hosting. These would be just for sending emails out. MailChimp is the most popular just because it has a free plan. So if you just want to try it out and see what it's like to start building an email list, you can use them for free up to 2,000 contacts. They put their branding in the bottom of all your emails, so keep that in mind. But if you're just bootstrapping it and want to give it a shot, MailChimp's a great option. It has a lot of, they're getting a lot more into automation. So they do have a new tagging system. So you can do similar to what Justin showed of having someone getting tagged when they purchase a product. They have integrations with WordPress that are free. So a lot of really great integrations with MailChimp. A lot of services integrate with them. GetResponse has been around for a long time. It doesn't have as great automation as these two, ActiveCampaign and Drip. They are trying to build it out. They just launched an automation service that has a very similar sort of flow chart type of thing. But these two are the heavyweights in the industry that have been doing this for a long time. ActiveCampaign was one of the first to actually build a drag and drop automation flow system. So yeah, you're looking at around $17 a month for their light plan. Usually these sort of services are $50 a month to get the actual features you need. And they also have email. So you're getting email, you're getting your funnel email automation flows, and they're both pretty much the same. Drip has a very similar interface. So check them out and see which one fits your needs. Aweber has been around a long time for email. They are really behind the 8 ball when it comes to automation and the new sort of features. So if you're looking at email, I would probably get, look more towards these ones. Infusionsoft is the one we mentioned earlier in the training. This is a beast. This thing is a very high learning curve, very expensive. You have to pay a setup fee just to even use it. So there's no just trying it out. You have to go on a call to see how it works. It is very complicated. I have paid for it. I've used it. I've used it with clients before. It is extremely robust. So if you know how to use it, then it is very, very complex. It has a checkout system, a membership system built in. There's a lot of features. They recently changed their name to Keep, which I didn't realize until today, actually. So if you're just starting out, I would definitely recommend ActiveCampaign or Drip, and they have some great features that include dynamic funnel and dynamic variable tagging. So you can really get into a complex sales funnel here that is very customizable. Everyone that buys through you or it gets added to your list is added as a subscriber, where you can see their entire profile and log everything that they do. So, which is really neat. So especially ActiveCampaign and Drip have this, so you can go into each of your contacts and you can see everything that they interact with you. So you can put some code on your website and see what pages they visit. You can see what products they've purchased, what emails they've opened or not opened. Every tag that you've set up, you can see when they've added that tag or not. And so there's a lot of customizability to actually see an overview of your customers with these two tools. And then last, just getting into payments and checkouts, because a lot of people asked about this. There are payment systems or payment gateways, and there are checkout systems, which are your shopping cart systems. Those are two separate different things. So PayPal and Stripe are the most popular. PayPal, you've all heard of that. A lot of people use it. It's international. It's great for international buyers because it's accepted almost everywhere in the world. Stripe isn't accepted in as many places as PayPal, but it's very similar. You have to type your credit card in. You can start accepting credit cards. The great thing about Stripe.com is that it is really easy to set up. It's just as easy as PayPal. Stripe is simple, a couple clicks, and you can be up and running. And they don't require any minimums and things like that. And also the payments that you collect through Stripe go right into your bank account within a couple of days. So you're actually able to get the payments into your bank, whereas PayPal stores the payments in PayPal first. It's always good to have the money going to your bank eventually so you have full control over it. I've put these two on the screen just because they are a little bit different. Paddle.com and ClickBank has been around for forever in the marketing world, but these two services act differently because they act as your merchant of record, which essentially means that they sell your product on your behalf. So if you're worried about things like taxes and selling into Europe, where they have a lot of complex tax laws, then these services take care of that for you because they are selling on your behalf. They're collecting the payment on your behalf. Their company goes on your invoices, and then all of that gets sent to you as a check at the end of the month or whatever their payment schedule is. So, so you just essentially get a check in the mail for your cut of the payments. So if you don't want to get into the complexities of Stripe and collecting credit cards and selling internationally and worrying about taxes and bookkeeping and accounting, then these services will help you with that. They take a larger cut. I think it's 4 or 5% of your payments, but they do simplify that process for you. If you're into WordPress, WooCommerce is the service that myself and Justin use. It is a plugin that sits on top of WordPress and gives you that shopping cart experience, that checkout system. It's free. There's a whole bunch of plugins and integrations that you can pay extra for.
Yeah, and you've done a tutorial on it using free PLR. I'm going to grab that right now.
Yeah, I did another video on that. It's really easy to set up. It has a setup wizard. A couple clicks, you click next, you choose a couple options, and you have a shopping cart ready to go. So
not many people use WooCommerce in our line of business. I'm not sure what the fear is. I think it's maybe people are worried it's too technical or complex, but so far I haven't had that experience. I mean, we do have techie people on our team, but
WooCommerce is run by the same company that built WordPress. So it is within the same team now. It's called Automatic. So it's run by the same people that run WordPress. So they've done a lot of tight integrations now. They've made it as simple as possible to set up. Shopify is a really popular one these days, just because you can just simply set up a store and a shopping cart really easy with Shopify. But WooCommerce has the almost identical features to Shopify, and there's no monthly fees. But if you're not comfortable with WordPress and you don't have a website yet and you just want to get a store going, then Shopify.com is another option. JVZoo is one that both myself and Justin have used in the past. It integrates with PayPal and Stripe. So essentially, you need to have a PayPal or Stripe account to start using it, and it just allows you to have another two things. The advantages are a marketplace, so people can find you if you're brand new and don't have a list, you don't have anyone to sell to. People can find your product through their marketplace. And the second thing is that they have a quite advanced affiliate system built into their service. So if you are looking to have affiliates help sell your product and give them a cut of sales, then that system allows you to do that pretty easily. They have a funnel builder for upsells and downsells, and it's just a platform to do that.
Yeah, just a quick comment on that one. Just putting it out there, I don't use JVZoo at all anymore. So just personal preference, but I used to sell on it as a vendor, and then I stopped when we went to move to WooCommerce, and now I don't promote on it at all. The JVZoo marketplace does have a lot of people that sell stuff that I know PayPal doesn't like, and so it can be a risk in my brain to be lumped in with people selling stuff that's not all that great. Right. So our PayPal account, I wouldn't call it the lifeblood of our business, but it's pretty damn close. So we just looked at it as a risk mitigation strategy for 2019. And so far it hasn't hurt us because most of the vendors that we promote offer non-JVZoo options. So it's worked, but I just thought I'd mention that since it is in this webinar.
Also, you don't control the full process, right? You want to try and control as much of the platform and the process as possible, especially for your customer experience. And JVZoo does have a checkout page that you can't customize as much. You can't put testimonials and your own templates onto. So there is a limitation to that. Last on the screen here is Gumroad. I'll just mention this just because it is a service to provide digital download products. There are a few of these out there. Gumroad is the most popular at the moment. If you're just selling a simple ebook and you just want to have a very simple service just to be able to deliver that ebook and have the hosting of the files and things like that, check out Gumroad. It is a service that allows you to do that. It's essentially a checkout cart tool that will deliver the product to your buyer once they've paid. So those are the systems that I'll mention. There's a lot of them out there, probably a lot. I haven't been able to look at the chat, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that are probably mentioning other ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation going on here. There's been a bunch of questions. One that stood out to me, we're gonna stop now because we've gone way over. But one that stood out was that it felt a bit overwhelming, which I totally anticipated. Mm-hmm. And so Chad and I will kind of discuss, and we'll think about other ways of communicating this information. But you know what? A webinar like this is not bad to watch the replay of several times. And then you can just pick pieces to implement, because nothing we covered is overly complex in terms of the implementation. It just may take a lot of steps to pull it all off when you collect it all together.
Yeah.
But anything I talked about, from building a sales page, putting a sales video on there, coming up with an upsell, whether it's your own product or partnering with somebody, writing emails, creating bonuses, all of that stuff is doable It just takes time. But once you do it, now you've got a funnel that you can use over and over again in creative ways. And that could be a whole nother training as well.
Yeah, we might even look at doing a funnel walkthrough, maybe setting one up. I'm going to be setting one up soon, so maybe I can just record that and show how it's done. We do have the minimum viable funnel training, which I'll also send the link out to. I think we have the recording somewhere.
Yep, I definitely have that.
So we do have another video where we showed using WordPress. You don't have to overthink it. If you are starting out brand new, you've never sold any product online before, you can use PayPal, which is free to set up. And you can use that with WordPress, which is also a free tool. All you're paying for is your web hosting. And there's millions of videos how to set that up. You just set up your web hosting, set up WordPress, you set up a buy button, and PayPal lets you choose what your thank you page URL is, what link it'll go to when they've purchased. So it's really simple. If we're looking at our screen here with the diagram, you're going to set up a WordPress page with your sales page, a PayPal buy button. You tell PayPal once they've purchased, that PayPal will send them to your upgrade URL page. And then if they have a no thanks button, it just goes right to the download page. If they click buy, then it takes them to the next page. And you set up your own funnel that way, just with simple linking of pages. There's nothing wrong with that. I've seen people do that before, and it's really easy to do.
Awesome. I want to read one quick comment here. Ocean saying that out today on most all you guys have presented here, and it was worth the time to hang out with you and discover your funnel method. Feels less sales pitchy, and I like that a lot. Absolutely. I'm the same way. Like I don't like funnels that as a customer or a client or whatever, where I feel like I'm being oversold or there's some kind of deceptive stuff going on. And I've tried my best over the years to be as transparent, honest, and upfront with people as it possibly can be. And I still make money and have built quite a successful business without having to use that. But I don't know. I just try to tell people an honest view of what they're going to get when they buy from us. And it works. So it's really not like you just try it and it should work. But my whole point to that of saying all that is watch this webinar again and feel free to copy as many elements of the funnel that you've seen here today or any of the ones that we share now or in the future, because it's not like the whole like funnel hacking, quote unquote. There's nothing here that we're doing that would not work for pretty much any business, right? But just make sure it's unique to you and how you like to sell and the way you like to deliver value to your audience. And also remember that only a small percentage of the overall number of clicks or hits on your website of people that are exposed to your funnel, whether it's a free or a paid one, are going to do business with you. However, it's still an opportunity to get their attention, to have them spend a little bit of time on your website. Even if someone leaves your sales page after 30 seconds, if there's a video there, if it looks nice, if it's presented well, if everything looks good, you have a chance of at least being remembered by them. So don't just measure it based on sales figures. Measure it after a year. You know, when you've looked at your customer list and you look at the number of repeat buyers and you've had conversations that you're hopefully saving in Evernote, and you realize, holy, like 37 people, told me that they bought after several interactions with my help desk, right? And you can start measuring stuff like that. So sales funnels go way, way, way beyond just generating revenue today, this week, this month.
Well, thank you guys for sticking around past the hour, and we will send the replay out, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Yeah, absolutely. And any questions we missed, we'll try to hit them. But thanks everybody for being here. Really appreciate your time.